Welcome to Safe Again, a mind body soul reset for the deeply tired. Module 2, Spot the Loops when your brain won't shut up. I'm so glad you're here. We're starting on time, and I want you to know that this space is all yours. I'm Julie, and I'll be guiding you through today's session. If anything comes up, jot it down and I'll answer your questions at the end. This is a soft, judgment-free zone. Feel free to keep your camera on or off. Grab a drink of water, stretch, lie down, whatever feels right for you. No rush, no pressure. Just take what you need from this moment. As a wise man once said, your sleepless nights do not define your rest unless you let them. You deserve to reset your nervous system, reclaim your peace, and move towards a future where rest comes easily. Module 2, Spot the Loops when your brain won't shut up. So there's this mate of mine, Anthony. He's a scientist, but not the kind you casually bump into. No, the type that shows up at a barbecue and starts passionately explaining the ins and outs of the human genome. For years, he was obsessed with the idea that cracking the genetic code would unlock the future. He'd rattle off all the latest breakthroughs like they were the hottest gossip in science. This is lit, he'd say. We'll decode the entire genome, understand every gene, every sequence, and finally solve aging, health, disease, everything. You could see the excitement in his eyes. He gave lectures at every opportunity, whether we asked for it or not. Just wait, he'll declare. Once we map the whole genome, we'll know exactly what makes us tick. We'll live forever, we'll never get sick, all of our problems will be solved. It was hard not to get swept up in his enthusiasm. Anthony was so convinced that the Genome Project was key to solving everything, but then slowly something changed. He started to shift from talking about genomes to talking about balance. The balance in life, our habits, the way we think about ourselves. And one day I asked him, Anthony, you've been going on about this genome revolution for ages. What happened? Aren't we on the verge of some massive breakthrough? He chuckled, scratching his head. You know, I used to think the genome would tell us everything, but here's the thing. We've poured billions into mapping DNA, trying to figure out how to fix every little issue in the human body. And yeah, it's important. It tells us a lot about who we are and where we come from. So what's changed? I asked, a little confused. Well, he said, leaning in with a look of someone who had seen the light. I've started digging into something called epigenetics. It turns out, while our genome is important, it's not the whole story. What really matters is how our environment and lifestyle choices affect how our genes express themselves. Wait, so you're telling me even though we've mapped the human genome, what really counts is how we live? Exactly, he nodded. Here's the thing, epigenetics shows us that it's not just the genes we inherit, but how we choose to live that actually shapes who we become. Our experiences, our environment, our stress levels, the food we eat, the sleep we get, all of these things influence how your genes express themselves. It's like the genome gives you the potential, but epigenetics is what activates or shuts it down. It's all about balance, control, and maintaining choices that support the healthiest expression of your genes. So I looked at him a bit stunned. So after all that, you're telling me the real key in life isn't just genes, but how we live? He smiled. Exactly. We can't change the fact that we're born with certain genes, but we can take control of how these genes behave. Our choices, our mindset, our habits, the way we manage stress affect how our genes turn off or on. And that's where the magic happens. The science shows us that we have way more control than we ever thought. Why am I even talking to you about this? Because you're thoughtful, capable, and deeply self-aware. You know there's more to you than just struggles with sleep, because no one ever told you those racing thoughts or difficulty switching off at night aren't weaknesses. They're simply patterns your body has learned to survive. They don't define you, because feeling out of control or dealing with poor sleep habits isn't your fault. It's been built over time, and now it's your time to release it, because anxiety can sneak into your nights, and sleep issues like apnea may drain your energy quietly without you even noticing. And maybe deep down you've asked, why can't I fully rest? Even when I'm exhausted, the truth is sleeplessness can feel like it's a part of who you are, but it doesn't have to stay that way. With gentle, loving guidance, your body can rediscover what it means to feel safe, still, and rested. This isn't about fixing you, it's about remembering who you really are and reconnecting to that peace. Sleep is sacred. It's where your soul finds rest. And tonight we begin the beautiful journey of remembering how to rest. You deserve it. You can sleep. And you're worthy of that deep, restorative peace. So, what are we really talking about here? Let's take a moment to imagine what true well being looks like for you, especially when it comes to your sleep. Forget the noise. What does real, restful sleep feel like in your life? The authentic you. Maybe well-being means you wake up refreshed every morning, feeling balanced, in control, with fewer restless nights. Maybe it's about letting go of the self-doubt that keeps you tossing and turning and welcoming more self-love into your quiet hours. Maybe well-being looks like feeling peaceful and grounded, free from anxious thoughts that disrupt your rest. What would it feel like if you could trust your body to deeply rest completely? If you could finally quiet the mental chatter that keeps you awake? What would your well-being look like? More peaceful nights, free from overthinking and filled with the comfort of sleep. Take a deep breath and imagine for a moment, what does restful sleep look like for you? It's not about the advice you've heard from others, it's about tuning into your own needs. Your well-being and restful sleep are yours to define, and no one else can tell you how to experience it. Feel that version of you, the one that falls asleep with ease, who wakes up renewed, and who embraces the day with clarity and calm. What does that sense of freedom feel like? How does that change the way you approach the day, knowing that your sleep is uniquely yours to shape? And as you move forward on this path to restful sleep, you'll be faced with decisions about the advice you take. Do you trust the sleep experts' methods, the relaxing routines from an app, or even the tips from an influencer online? How do you decide what works best for you? It's about tuning into your inner wisdom, the real compass of your well-being. When you choose advice, ask yourself, does it resonate with your sleep journey? Does it feel aligned with the life you want to create? Trust yourself to choose what supports your personal growth and healing. And always remember, your sleep and your well-being are in your hands. About me, I'm Julie, a certified clinical hypnotherapist, a master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, and a life coach. I work with the mind and subconscious mind to help you unlock your true potential. Let's talk about how our subconscious mind is quietly guiding you towards restful, peaceful sleep, even when you're not aware of it. Right now, without any effort on your part, your body's naturally doing its thing, breathing, relaxing, and just being. You're not actively controlling it, it's happening automatically, like magic. Isn't that amazing? Here's where it gets even more interesting. Your subconscious mind is always processing. Even when you're not aware of it, it's constantly absorbing your thoughts, your emotions, and experiences. Now imagine you started thinking positively about sleep. What if you focused on the idea of deep, restful sleep just for a few minutes every day? Your mind would start to embrace the idea of sleep, and slowly your body would follow suit, creating the peaceful, restorative rest that you deserve. You see, your subconscious mind is deeply connected to your body, and when you feed it positive thoughts about rest and renewal, it responds by calming your body and setting the stage for deep sleep. When you visualize peaceful nights, when you tell yourself you deserve a good night's sleep, your mind releases the right chemicals that support your body in relaxing and unwinding. But here's the fascinating part. Your subconscious mind can also pick up on negative patterns like stress, worry, which disrupt your sleep. If you're stuck on a loop of negative thoughts, whether it's not about being good enough or replaying stressful situations, your brain may hold on to these emotions, and it can be harder to let go of the night. But just like any habit, you have the power to break that loop. You have the ability to shift your thoughts, to focus on positive sleep habits, calming thoughts before bed. By reprogramming those old thought patterns, you can create a new pathway for your mind, a pathway that leads to peaceful sleep, deep relaxation, and true rest. So as you begin to reframe your thoughts and trust your body, you'll discover that sleep isn't something you need, it's something you deserve. Your subconscious is always working in your favor. It's time to let it guide you towards the healing and rest you've been longing for. Recognizing the patterns of sleep struggles, why it's important. Understanding the patterns behind your sleep struggles can truly change the game. Sleep issues aren't random, they're reoccurring cycles your mind and body have learned to follow. Once you recognize these patterns, you're one step closer to breaking them and paving the way for better, more restful sleep. You might even find some of these sound all too familiar. Sleep hygiene. I know I should go to bed earlier, but I just end up scrolling. Cognitive arousal. As soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm wide awake. External locus of control. There's nothing I can do. It's just how I am. Poor waking strategies. I snooze my alarm 5 times every morning. Sleep apnea. Scream for it. Get diagnosed. I wake up gasping or choking. This can be dangerous. Always see a doctor. Lack of compartmentalization. I bring work to bed with me, mentally or literally. Recognizing these sleep struggle patterns is the first step in taking control of your rest. It's about becoming aware of what's happening so you can take the necessary actions to break the cycles. Once you know the pattern, you have the power to change it, leading to nights of deeper sleep and mornings filled with energy. Let's make the most of the habits we can control and continue the sleep you truly deserve. Before we wrap up, I'd love to invite you on a short guided hypnosis session. You don't need to close your eyes unless it feels right. Just allow yourself to tune out the outside world for a moment and gently turn inwards. If you're not quite ready or it's not your thing, that's completely okay too. Just listening with an open heart can be powerful. This track is called Return to Rest. It's designed to softly remind your nervous system that it's okay to relax. You're safe now. Healing is already happening. The future holds light. So if you're in, let's begin. Take a moment. Just notice how your body is beginning to settle. You might want to get a little more comfortable now, maybe adjusting your position just slightly or allowing your shoulders to drop as you start to feel the weight of the day drift down and out of your system as you begin to breathe. Maybe just a little slower than usual. You might wonder if you're beginning to notice how your breath starts to guide you gently inward. And it makes you curious, doesn't it, whether the sound of your breath can become something that soothes you or something that just carries you a little further away from the part of you that tries too hard to control sleep. People often tell me they believe that sleep depends on everything else, the sounds outside, the light in the room, the timing, the thoughts, and maybe you felt that too, as if sleep was something outside you, a mysterious guest who may or may not show up. And you can begin to notice now what it's like to allow yourself to just be here, no needing to chase a sleep or force it, just allowing this moment to be enough. You might even wonder if it's possible that sleep begins from something within you, something quiet and steady like a whisper or a rhythm you've forgotten was always there. Whether you realize it now or later, you can begin to discover that your body knows how to rest, even if your mind isn't sure yet. And you can keep breathing gently. You can allow yourself to drift a little more, because it's okay to take your time. It's okay to find your own way back to sleep, even if it feels like sleep's been avoiding you. You can simply rest here now. No need to solve anything. No need to control the night. Just breathe. Just a space and just the beginning of something softer. As you take this breath, there are new discoveries being made quietly in the back of the world. Maybe you've heard of something called alternate magnetism. Or maybe it's the first time those words have gently floated into your awareness. It's okay to not understand it fully, because your mind can enjoy feeling it first. Just imagining a magnet, a simple, silent, but not still. A magnet that doesn't hold to just one side, it shifts and then shifts again, flipping its poles, north becoming south and south becoming north again, back and forth, like the swinging of an invisible pendulum, always in motion, but soft and rhythmic, not rushed. And this shifting, this alternate magnetism creates waves, gentle pulsing waves of energy that ripple out into the space around it, waves that don't push and pull constantly but oscillate. Take a breath in and out, giving and receiving, releasing and returning. You might wonder whether your own body has something like that deep inside, a quiet system that knows how to shift, to balance, to reset, just like that magnet, not holding to one state, not forcing rest or wakefulness, just allowing change as you feel your breath to move. You might notice something within you responding to those same gentle rhythms. Maybe your thoughts might begin to sway. Your body feels lighter, as if you're syncing with something deeper, and whether your conscious mind understands how magnetism works or your subconscious mind might already be responding in the only way it knows how, by softening, releasing, and allowing what comes next. And do you know what's even more special? You are magnetic too, in your own natural way, with your own quiet pulse, your own rhythm, your own version of magnetism, that mysterious something that draws others in, that quiet power, that warmth and presence, and only you have. And in the 18th century, it was once called animal magnetism because it wasn't just for a person or one kind of being, it was for all living things. Franz Mesmer, an 18th century German physician, believed an invisible force moved through every creature, a natural energy permeating all of life, capable of affecting health, healing, and even emotion. He called it animal magnetism. And the word later meant mesmerism, a gentle influence, a subtle pull. That became the foundation for what we know as hypnosis today. And isn't it interesting? Whether your body already recognizes that quiet magnetic pull inwards, that soft wave of energy that leads you right here, where your conscious mind can rest and your subconscious can rise, like a tide that's always been waiting. So as your breath continues, you drift just a little more deeply now. You might feel that invisible rhythm within you, the back and forth sway, like alternate magnetism, like a world rebalancing itself inside you without needing to try. You can begin to remember that something ancient lives in you, something wise, something magnetic, something that already knows how to guide you to peace. Sometimes when sleep feels out of reach, it's easy to believe we're controlled by something out there. The noise, the light, the stress, the day that went wrong, the sense that rest responds on the world behaving a certain way. But what if sleep isn't something you chase? What if it's something you allow, something that returns naturally when you create space for it on the inside? I knew someone once, a traveller, a soul who wandered through the winding forests of thoughts and shifting skies of emotion, always searching for a safe place to rest. They carried with them a Louis Vuitton Supreme Edition backpack, a piece of gear as sleek as it was practical. But on the inside, it wasn't just packed with essentials. It was full of stories, some their own, some borrowed from the world around them. Stories about why sleep must be earned, why peace must be perfect, why rest only comes when a world outside behaves just right, and every time they unzip that bag, they found the same looping map drawn by others' hands, marked with paths that never quite led them home. But one night, under a sky that pulsed with quiet magnetism, the traveller noticed something, a tree shimmering in a way that others didn't. It hummed not in words but in feeling, and as the traveller reached out, they felt the backpack start to loosen, the weight in their shoulders shifting. Something inside sighed, something older began to weep, not from sadness, from relief, because suddenly it wasn't about the backpack anymore. It was about the roots, the ones they forgot they had. The quiet truth that rest has never lived in the world outside. The tree whispered new stories, not with language, but with warmth, with breath, with pulse, with the soft pulling of gravity inward. And the traveller, they found themselves floating just above their own story, not seeing it as a tangle, but as threads, just unbraided, ready for new weaving. A different kind of memory began to arise. Not one from the past, one that came from ahead, the version of them that already knew how to rest. The version smiled and wrapped their present self in a blanket of knowing, like a starlight in fabric, soft and ancient and safe. And in that moment, the forest became a bed. The Louis Vuitton Supreme backpack became a pillow. The mind became still, no longer searching, no longer guarding, just drifting, sinking, falling into the deep, soft rhythm of sleep. And close your eyes now if you haven't already. Take a deep breath, slow breath in, filling the air, fill your lungs. And as you exhale, let go of what no longer serves you. Let your shoulders soften, let your chest relax. With every deep breath, feel more grounded, more at ease. Imagine with each inhale that you're wrapping yourself in a blanket of knowing, soft, warm, and deeply comforting. Like starlight woven into fabric, gentle and ancient, a safety that's always been there waiting for you to rest. In this peaceful moment, the forest becomes your bed, your soft mattress, your Louis Vuitton Supreme backpack, now transformed into a perfect pillow, holding your head with tenderness and care. With each breath, feel your mind quiet, no longer searching, no longer guarding. You are here, right where you need to be. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, feel all your thoughts fade, slowly slipping away, like fading light of the day. With each breath, you sink deeper into the soft, steady rhythm of your breath. Inhale, exhale, deeper and deeper still. You are safe. You are ready now. Just drift. Surrender to the softness, the peace that surrounds you. Feel yourself sinking deeper, falling into the deep, sweet rhythm of sleep. Let go completely now as you drift deeper and deeper until you're fully at rest. Congratulate yourself now. You're exactly where you're meant to be, wrapped in soft knowing, safe, peaceful, and ready for the deep rest you've earned. Sleep now. When you're ready, I invite you to reorient yourself back into the present moment. Stretch out, wriggle your fingers and toes, and open your eyes. Few deep, relaxing breaths. Welcome back. You're perfect just as you are. Thank you for being fully present, opening yourself up today. As you may already feel, this session has gently guided you into a space of deep inner calm and healing. With that shift, we now mark the completion of Module 2, Spot the Loops, when your brain won't shut up. I'm excited to continue this journey with you. Over the next few days, we'll explore a series of 5 transformative modules designed to deepen your healing and empower your inner self. Module 1, Rethink Sleep. Module 2, Spot the Loops. Module 3, Calm the system, wind down without trying so hard. Module 4, compartmentalize the chaos, clear space for sleep. Module 5, rebuild sleep trust from helpless to grounded. Each module builds on the progress we've made today. While you still might carry the subtle echoes of the hypnotic state, note that these sessions will guide you further into healing. They help you understand, release, and ultimately transform the challenges you face with sleep, so you can create restful nights and rejuvenated mornings you deserve. Rest well as you let these shifts take root. Thank you for taking this courageous step towards better sleep. I honor your willingness to show up for yourself today. It's incredibly impressive that you took ownership of your journey, recognizing the patterns and making the decision to transform them. This is no small feat, and it's a powerful step towards healing. And I'm truly grateful to walk alongside you in this sacred journey of growth, healing, and empowerment. As you continue to nurture your sleep, know that each small shift is a step towards greater rest, peace, and balance. The path ahead is one of deep transformation. I can't wait to witness the beautiful unfolding of your soul as you reclaim your restful and the rejuvenated mornings you deserve.